Hello, YouTubers and friends alike. This is Air.312 here, and behind the camera is.
The Grand Adventures or Grant Travels, some you called either way.
Yeah, you're just gonna hear one of us say it over and stuff. Okay, for him to explain this and stuff, he finally got the camera, the light deal failed, so he finally got the pole guard trigger deal.
Yeah, decided to go with
So
just
it
a
goes
basic
like that.
trigger guard holster because it goes on the rail that the light would have went on had I had the light.
And as you can see on the other side, through this,
Yeah,
you can see it was supposed to be the American flag on that side.
yeah. It's a right-hander's world, so they sent me it as a right-hander, and I had to switch it to a left-hander, which is inside waistband on the right side, which would be the flag or the stars, I should say. So now I'll have the outside showing facing stripes, but you won't be able to see it anyway, so no big deal. But
And in fact, I can look at it. The screws are right there, so this can actually be probably re-rotated.
yeah.
So that could be easily fixed.
Yeah, so I swapped it out when after I got it and realized they sent me the right-hander version. I put the clip on the other side.
Well, you can see the screws right here. We could probably fix that
Yeah,
tomorrow or before he goes.
yeah,
And for him, for the hull, he got some hollow points.
yep. So those are the middle ground hollow points. They're the Hornet HTs. They look like a hollow point, but I'm not all too sure. They split up and when it hit the body like a normal hollow point would.
And then
I've heard from some people they do and some people they don't.
That's the standard.
But they didn't have HST hollow points, which are the true hollow points with a groove. And then yeah, I got a box of Full Metal Jacket, which is your ball point, because the whole deal with the CCW class, the first instructor canceled. There wasn't enough people, so USCCA combined all the classes into one instead of having two people here, one person there, or whatever, and they gave it to one instructor. It was a female instructor next. Like the first guy was a male that I was emailing. There was a female instructor next. She wanted to do 3 hours and then didn't want us to bring the gun to class because I don't know if she's scared of people not knowing how to handle their guns or what. I don't know what that deal was. And then last second they switched me again to another male instructor who now wants to do 3.5 to 4 hours of class and then an hour worth of certifying at the range with the gun with 50 rounds of ballpoint.
And then when he was looking for online for hearing protection, because he wants to do this 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Here's the box.
Yeah.
Here's this slide. I'll show you outside of the box.
Yeah, because I figured that if I'm going to carry around heavy-duty earphones, they better have Bluetooth in them also. Because
So
if I'm only going
if
to use
you
them
need
once or
to.
twice a month to do the range, it's not worth the rest of the time of the month packing them around unless they have something else available to use, which this has a radio, and then I can connect it by Bluetooth to the phone.
Yeah, and this is supposed to go like this through there.
Which pretty much makes it a regular earphones that you put on, just a little bit heavier.
And this will show you for if you actually for female or males wearing earrings. Hopefully this works. Looks like that. Okay.
Huh?
Goes like this.
Oh, yeah, it goes like that. Yeah, there you go.
And it goes like this. This is for people if you wear earrings and stuff.
Yeah. Extends all the way over your ears. It's for hearing and loud noise protection, like loud generators on construction sites, loud noises from guns.
Yeah, when he's talking and stuff, I can hear him dim a little.
Yeah. It'll help on the bus and stuff like that when I hear annoying babies and everything else crying. I can put that on and zone out.
Yeah, when I put that on and I'm wearing earrings and stuff, you might feel a little pain, but for me wearing earrings and stuff, which is actually a good demonstration too, I don't feel any pressure on my earrings.
Yeah. So basically, if I was gonna wear that heavy of earphones, just gotta have it for ear protection for the range. Once or twice a month, it's not worth the other 28 days of the month packing them around if they didn't have something else that I used that entire rest of the month. And so with Bluetooth headphones, I'll be using them all the time. So at least the weight kind of justifies the use.
And then here's for the rechargeable deal. He wanted a solar power, but
Yeah, they had a nice solar panel power one, which the top of the headband right there would have been a panel. But who knows if it worked the greatest or not. But it would have been nice having that without hitchhiking. To charge itself. But you can't win everything, I guess. And maybe, who knows, it might have been a gimmick too. Some of those solar things are gimmicks where it doesn't charge enough to even worth saying it is. They just put it on there to make it look good.
yeah. And here's the rechargeable batteries and stuff. He was trying to find the ones that you use USB and stuff to plug in.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Yeah, because that radio system on those headphones uses regular batteries. Rechargeable batteries, and it has on the manual not to use regular batteries because apparently it'll corrode it and screw it up.
God. I just look at this package.
What?
You have to go buy one more battery. Rechargeable battery.
One more?
Look at the package again.
4? They should have 4, right? I don't need 3. You got 3?
You got 2 AA and 2 AAA.
Crap. Dang it. I could use the AAA. I think my shaver might actually take AAA anyway, I guess. But yeah, I think I need 3 for that.
And yeah, you do.
Man. So it's been kind of one shit show after another. Amazon screws stuff up, and then we go out shopping and screw stuff up.
First the light, then...
Oh, speaking of, our star of the show right there.
This Labrador Retriever right here.
I was in the middle of arranging a prepaid credit card to start working on my credit again, and I wanted to only put YouTube Premium, so I didn't have to pay for the ads. Paid, so I didn't have to watch the ads.
And then YouTube.
Yeah,
Premium.
and DoorDash has like $5 a month or something with a discount from using Snap on that DoorDash pass that I use every now and then when I'm on the road. So like $20 a month. I was gonna make it automatically pay that and automatically take that off. So I only wanted to put $50 worth on the deposit for the secured credit card. But right in the middle of my doing that, somebody jumped up on the bed and hit with her paw on the side swiped on my phone. I went out and played.
To the max.
Yeah, and I went out and played ball with her out there. That's what she was wanting, was to fetch ball. Came back and found out she ordered a $200 deposit. I mean, I had the money, so I mean, either way, it's my money. But in order to not screw the card up, since they already were sending it, since she did it all in one, she shifted it from, it was 50, 75, 100, 150, or 200. You had like a sliding rail thingy that goes all the way, and somehow she slapped it all the way to the max and hit submit payment. So I'm glad I had money on that card when I did that, but so yeah, because of her, I have a secured $200 credit card.
And she's the boss, by the way, and she decided to say, "Nope, screw you, human."
So you don't pay attention to her. That's what you get.
That's why you always obey a Tucker Labrador Retriever or Retriever.
She got me good on that one.
And she's bleeding the fit.
And who knows, down the line, she might have helped me out anyway. Who knows if a $200 secured credit card would be a better thing to just, you only use, what it would be, $20 at 200 is what, 10%? Yeah, 10% usage of the card. So it actually, in the long run, it might actually be in my favor to leave that $200 on there and only use 10% of it. Utilization for 12 days and then pay it back off.
And plus, if it's an emergency and stuff, he's going to probably use the card again.
Yeah, but I'm going to try not to for this first one because it's a secured one, and then eventually when I get 3 or 6 months, probably 6 to 9 months out, and get a real card that's not a secured credit once my credit is opened up. Though that card is the card I would use for rental cars and whatnot. Because they're less likely to rip you off with interest than the secured credit card line is. But that $200 will be on that card forever, I guess.
And plus, he can always readjust it too later on, 6 months down the line, saying he can't.
Yeah, later on, if I get enough credit cards or enough of a credit limit on a different card and whatnot, so it's like 2 or 3 times what that one was, then I could take it off or do whatever, and without screwing my credit report up too much. But the idea is to build the credit.
And what he's going to do instead, he's not going to close that card down.
Yeah.
He's going to reduce it all the way down to probably $50.
Yeah, I learned my lesson the first time. I paid $26,000 in debt off after my dad passed away, and we sold his house. He passed away in 2013. I think I sold his house in like 2014 or 15. I paid $26,000 off, but then I made the mistake of telling every credit card company to close an account. Like, I didn't want to have credit again, and that just shattered my report. Now on one report I have 512, and the other one I have 522 points. So it's pretty much the lowest you can get on a credit report.
And the fun thing to do, what most people say, is never close your longest credit line.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. Because that's where all your credit comes from.
Yeah, had I left that all open, I would have $30,000 worth of a credit line in 7 different cards. But I paid him off.
What he could do was this newest one, he can start closing them down, go backwards, and keep like the 2 oldest ones, and that way he doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, if you had to, or just they can even lock them, which is weird. They can actually lock them, which temporarily for like 6 months or something, without hurting your credit line. But eventually, they will close the account themselves if you quit using them with inactivity. And that's why a lot of the cards have the annual fee every year at $100 or whatever, is because people do that. They just quit using it and they leave it open, and then so they ding them with the $100 fee every year.
What you should do if you can't afford a credit card is find something that you can afford and have an account, like a bank account, open that's only designed for the credit line that you have. If you have a $500 credit line, have at least $2,000 to $3,000 in your bank. I know the reason why I'm saying that is just in case you fuck up.
Ah.
And then you have, every time you receive your credit card, set it to automatically pay your credit off automatically in full.
Yeah, I would say the full balance too. Don't pay the minimal.
But if sometimes if it's tight and stuff, and you just make a monthly payment and stuff, always contact your credit card company. Explain your situation. Say, hey, times is tough. Or say, can you just waive the interest off? And sometimes they will do it. But don't do that repeatedly, because then you know that you're screwing up.
Right.
If you do that like every 2 to 3 years, they might not even care. They say, oh, okay, we'll waive your $100 of interest off without even questioning it.
Yeah. Mainly the only reason I'm trying to get credit again is to have like maybe a $500 limit on a decent credit card like Capital One, something that everybody recognizes.
Or Discover.
Yeah,
or Visa, or
one of the big 4 or 5 that everybody recognizes. That way I can rent a car, or I can use U-Haul on my travel.
American Express, Discover, Master, and Visa.
Yeah, those ones. Get one of those ones that everybody recognizes again, and then that way you can walk up to the counter of a rental car center to rent a car, or to rent a U-Haul if I had to. If that means, if the difference between landing in a small little town after delivering a truck is renting a car or hitchhiking out, I'd obviously much rather rent a car if I could. So I'd like to have that option available to me, but right now I don't, because I only have the debit cards.
And what most people do is get like a Visa card and then either American Express or Discover.
Uh-huh.
Because most businesses only accept Master and Visa.
Yeah, a lot of them. And then occasionally what American Express has issues with some things, and then American Express has better lounges than other places, so all the cards have different options.
If you're traveling a lot with airlines and stuff, always figure out what type of credit cards are the best fit for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the most I would want, is $500 or maybe $1,000 credit limit on a half a decent card that everybody recognizes. It makes it life easier at hotels too, with the hotel deposits and whatnot. Because they again recognize the card right off the bat.
Usually for credit cards, it's nearly instant if they refund your deposit.
Yeah,
with your bank card, it takes up to 7 days, by the way.
Yeah, and I've been running into that a lot. 7 days. Occasionally, a hotel will take up to 30 days because they run it on their Sunday audit at the end of the month or something. I've ran into that a couple times, where they held it all month long because it was a debit card. It was more bank holding it. It wasn't.
And they'll actually warn you. If a hotel warns you, say, "Is this a bank card?" and you say yes, say, "By the way, just so you know, usually takes 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah.
And sometimes even longer, 30 days, or even 31 days, or even 60 days. After 60 days and stuff, you can also contact your bank and say, hey, this hotel is withholding my funds for 60 days. Is there any way that you can actually release my funds?
Yeah, exactly. So this is our latest video of the list of weird extras, and we just found out a problem with the battery. I had to switch the thing on my trigger.
And again, it's showing
The gun store didn't have the exact right hollow points that I wanted. It had the medium ones, but it'll work.
just to show you.
I kind of got what I wanted, but then didn't in every little thing. but I got enough for now. You know, that's how life goes.
And just for you to show you guys, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pull this off one more time, and I'm gonna. Yeah, it's supposed to be rotated this way. I'm gonna go like that.
Yeah. But it's a right-hander's world, and when I noticed that, you know, technically I gotta have it on the right side, or what they would call the right side of inside waistband for the left side. So I had to switch it around. Then the hollow points they're hollow points, but they're like the fake hollow points. They're all one center point with the hole in the middle instead of what would crunch into different pieces.
In fact, we can now show you.
But they're close enough for now.
We can show you that it's for a clip.
Yeah, that would be right side outside waistband, and then if you clip it on the other side, it's inside the waistband. And should have to point it out a third time, but we do have the gun lock on, so that gun is safe. Been cleared, safe, doesn't have anything in around it in chamber or nothing like that.
And for example, this will show you if I can fit this in there. Huh.
It requires that you pay attention a little more if you're reholstering on the belt like that, because you have nothing until that guard the trigger goes all the way down in the guard, versus other holsters have like a backing and stuff like that. It's a very minimal holster, but that's what I liked about it. I have the other holster that I'm going to keep in the chest pocket to keep the gun to sleep with, but I'm going to dedicate it to that pocket, and I wanted to have a belt holster that's very minimal, so that the less you can print, the better. But there's sacrifices to everything. The smaller and smaller you make the holster, the more technically uncomfortable it could get, but the less it'll print.
For example, that's what it's probably going to look like.
Yeah.
In fact, you almost can't tell without.
Nah, it's not that bad. Then we went shopping today, and I bought a collared over top shirt that I can wear when carrying the gun on the belt, because I don't plan on carrying the gun on the belt very often, but because that's where everybody's going to look to find a gun. If they're the type that are looking to have a gun, other gun owners are going to look to see the printing and whatnot around the belt. And that's why in the wintertime I'm going to wear it on the chest, so it's not as noticeable. And I have 2 pieces of cardboard that it put together in the shape of a tablet that the gun is going to hide behind. So when it's in the chest pocket, it just looks like a tablet for shooting out of the pocket, or in the pocket, I should say.
And just so you know, this slides all the way out, so that's why you probably could see that. But
Yeah.
you can, I'd assume it's straight. That hadn't really going to fit without me having.
Yeah, but we're at 19 minutes, so I should probably get this video cut so I can edit some of it and then upload it. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the flip.
Peace out.
Peace.